So, women's bantamweight is an interesting thing. Now, Raquel Pennington is the champion right now. Uh, but ever since Amanda Nunes has departed and gone off as the greatest women's combat sports athlete of all time, MMA fighter definitely. Now, if Amanda wanted to come back for a boxing match against like someone like Clarissa Shields, I'd be down to watch that. I might make a video on that one. That might actually be pretty cool. But it just seems like after Nunes left and just tore through everything and left a devastating path through women's MMA, now 135-145, which I'm pretty sure doesn't exist anymore because Nunes took it out. It's like Infinity War. Like, half of everybody's gone. And, silence. And I'm not saying that a lot of these fighters are lackluster, but there's a handful of women's fighters all over, except for 125, where it just happens to be really stacked. But specifically in 115, where you have Zhang Wei Li versus who else, right? She's going to own that belt now. That Rose has skipped the division and moved on to 125. And then 135, you got Raquel Pennington. But she doesn't make a whole lot of noise or generate a whole lot of buzz. And I think 135 is the perfect entrance for Kayla Harris to get the belt with minimal resistance. Just because, Holly Holm obviously is kind of past her heyday. Her getting the belt and defeating, what's her name? Ronda Rousey. It's crazy how I forgot that. It's late night. I'm filming this before I go to sleep. But when she defeated Ronda Rousey and upset women's stardom in MMA, oh my God, that was a long time ago. I was 21 or 22 at the time, and we were sharing memes about it. That was a long time ago, dude. That was like years ago. But then Amanda Nunes takes over and then just runs through everybody. Obviously, Holly Holm got another shot at the title against Nunes, but we all know how that went. That was like a first-round KO, I believe it. I think it was a first-round knockout. Yeah, it was first round. Oh my God. But Holly Holm fell short, and now she's kind of just the one that kind of stuck around because she's a fan favorite. And obviously, the clock's caught up with her. And then here comes Kayla Harris, who might not be the youngest person, but she's definitely just fresher. Like, she doesn't have the miles on her. And she's got way more impressive judo credentials, from what I understand. And me and my buddy who practice judo, like, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Judo makes jiu-jitsu look like patty cake, dude. It's insane. Judo is a skill set not to be reckoned with. And when you are like Kayla Harrison and you have the striking fundamentals that Ronda Rousey lacked, you're going to be what Ronda Rousey thought she was going to be. Especially when you don't have Amanda Nunes in there to give you any problems. I just think the landscape of 135 is going to be so easy for Kayla Harris to come in and just run through people that there's not a whole lot of resistance there. And I honestly feel like this might be a long shot take, but just based on how she's entering with Holly Holm, who's just seen so much and is obviously starting to get on the way out a little bit, how much more resistance does she have till Kayla Harris reaches the title? And then Kayla Harris gets the belt and can defend it until someone badder comes along. And how long is that going to be? Because it's like with women's MMA, you get a hand select full of female studs, and then there's just like everybody else. And I don't like to say that to the rest of the women's MMA fighters, but it just seems like That's the landscape of it. Like, how do you think Holly Holm was able to land 2 spinning elbows and make it look very marketable? It's because she was fighting non-ranks, and non-ranks in the women's MMA versus non-ranks in the men's MMA. This is going to sound sexist, but it's just how it goes, you know? It's just like, because, you know, to be fair, you got a lot more men trying out for MMA than you do women. But I think that's the problem, to the point where now it's making it look like Kayla Harris is just not going to have a whole lot of resistance to that title. But I do really think she's going to get the belt very soon, just based on all the thoughts I've laid out. And you know what? I can't really be mad about that. Why not someone come in from another organization and show the UFC that women's 135 still might have a slight chance at marketability, because it just looks super stale after Amanda Nunes left. That's what I got to say, man. Peace out.